News Channel 8 presents New Skills for Living with your host, Tom Lavin, a healthy plan for healthy living.
Hello and welcome to New Skills for Living, a show dedicated to healing and wholeness in our community. Today we're going to be taking a look at a really important topic, and that's about balanced living and balanced nutrition. For over the last 25 years, complementary and alternative medicine has come side by side with more traditional medicine in really helping people lead healthier lives in terms of illness prevention and illness intervention. And of course, nutrition and healthy lifestyles is an important part of that. And our guest today is Laura Hennings, and Laura is an expert in this area of Ayurveda practice. In terms of Ayurveda practice, someone that you may have heard of that talks about this quite frequently is Dr. Deepak Chopra. He too talks about this type of practice. And we're very glad that Laura is with us today. She has been practicing Ayurveda for over 20 years. She began to practice in 1991. She spent 4.5 years at the Ayurvedic Lifestyle Center, 2 years at the California College of Ayurveda, and she completed an internship in Jaipur, India. Laura's practice is called Home to Heal, where she specializes in helping people take a look at nutrition and developing a healthy nutrition practice as well as healthy lifestyles. And so, Laura, it's so great to have you here at New Skills for Living.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay. So, Laura, the first question is just kind of open in general. What is Ayurveda?
Well, Ayurveda is a Sanskrit word that literally translates to the science of life. It is one of the oldest forms of medicine and healing that there is on the planet, over 5,000 to 10,000 years old. So that's a pretty good track record.
Yeah. So there's a track record of experience and wisdom, and can you tell us a little bit about that track record, how it's evolved?
It's actually was a practice that was a verbal practice. It was verbally handed down from teacher to student for many, many years. And then it was, at a later time, put into a book called the Vedas. The Vedas, I've heard clients say to me over and over, if there was just something, a manual, how to live my life well and healthy, that would actually be the Vedas. That is Ayurveda.
Yeah. So it's interesting, Laura, that even 5,000 or 10,000 years ago, just like we have today, people were facing some stress in their life. Some people were living unbalanced lives.
We are human.
Yeah.
So yes.
The human condition. And people back then and now also need some instruction on how to get back in balance. And can you tell us a little bit then about what is the formula then for health?
There is a formula. 3 things you have to remember.
Okay.
There is your sleep, there is your food, there is your lifestyle.
Yes.
And under lifestyle, it would be your exercise, what you do with your life, are you happy? So those 3 things you always keep in check. For instance, if you get a cold or a flu, you can probably look back at those 3 things and realize that 2 of them were compromised.
I see.
So if you have all 3 in check, if your sleep is good, if your diet is constitutionally correct, and if you are happy with what you do and with your life, then you have 3 out of 3. You're healthy.
Yes.
If you have 2 out of the 3, you're doing pretty darn good.
Yes.
Then you're fine.
Yes.
If you find that you only have 1, for instance, maybe one night you didn't sleep well, you ate fast food, your diet was compromised, then you only have 1 left, and probably you're going to be sick.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about sleep, okay, because there's so many people who are wanting to take Ambien and Lunesta and tossing and turning and buying new mattresses. And so talk with us a little bit just about healthy sleep, okay?
Sleep is a big one.
Yeah.
And in consultation, my first question is, how much caffeine do you drink?
I see.
A lot. That's normally the answer.
Yeah.
So it would seem obvious to me that you would eliminate that, but to some it's not so obvious. So first and foremost, no caffeine. That means no coffee, no tea, no energy drinks, caffeine must go.
Yes.
And then at bedtime, oftentimes people watch TV. It's full of action and noise, and they're amped before they even lay their head on the pillow.
Yes.
So I always suggest that you treat yourself like you would your child.
Uh-huh.
You take the lights down low, activity goes low, you may take a warm bath. You have to care for yourself.
Yes, to really nurture oneself.
You have to nurture yourself.
Yes, yes.
And then diet is a big, big deal with sleep.
Now, before we get into the diet, I think what we'll go ahead now is just go ahead and transition, Laura, into the break. And right after this brief break, we'll continue to talk with Laura about Ayurvedic lifestyle and Ayurvedic nutrition. Hello, and welcome back to New Skills for Living. You'll see up on your screen the information for the website, www.easeap.com, where you'll be able to watch this interview on streaming video with Laura. Also, there are 20 or 30 other shows on that website that you can watch in streaming video. Also, I'd like to mention to you on the website, there are over 90 newsletters associated with healthy living, how to deal with stress, depression, anxiety, healthy relationships. Just go to the website and go ahead and download those or read those or share those with others that you care about. So we're very glad to have Laura Hennings with us today talking about healthy nutrition and healthy lifestyles. Laura is a clinical Ayurveda specialist. She's a Panchakarma specialist. And she's also a licensed massage therapist, so very well-rounded in her training in helping people lead healthier lives. So, Laura, let's go back and talk about those three fundamentals that you were first discussing.
Those three are so very important. Your sleep, your diet, your lifestyle. And you must have 2 out of 3 all the time to maintain health. If you only have 1 out of the 3, you are just disease waiting to happen.
Okay.
So that is why you have to keep the 3 in balance at all times.
Yeah. So that's kind of like a red flag, huh, Laura?
It is.
And when people come and consult with you, you're kind of sensitive to those red flags.
Exactly.
Is someone sleeping, and are they happy, and do they have a good lifestyle, and is their nutrition good?
Right. Not only that, I want to be able to teach them how to do it for themselves.
Yeah, oh, okay, so the work that you do with people, it's very empowering.
Yes, absolutely. I don't want them to have to come to me every week. I want to be able to teach them how to implement all these techniques into their life so they can help their families and friends.
Yes, to really move on and share it with others as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's
Yes.
great. So now this is a new term for me. There are the 5 elements, the 6 taste, and the 7 tissue layers.
Yes.
Which one shall we talk about first?
Well, let's talk about the tissue layers.
Okay.
7 tissue layers is kind of how I explain disease.
Okay.
In Ayurveda, it is said, Rasa Raksa Mamsa Meda Asti Maja Shukra Ojas. And it translates into the plasma, the blood, the fat, the muscle, the bone, the marrow, the seminal fluid, and then your ojas, which is your underlying strength. It's your immune system. So when we eat the food, the plasma says thank you, and it takes what it needs and it gives it to the blood. Once the blood has been satisfied, it says thank you, it goes to the muscle, to the fat, and so on and so on. So if one has a compromised diet, it is not Ayurvedically correct for them, then those deeper tissue layers, such as your seminal fluid, as well as your immune system, may never get proper nutrition.
I see.
That also answers the question of so many disease. There's always the why question. Why do I have this? This is the answer to all disease.
So there's something lacking then when the things are out of balance in those 7 layers. There's something lacking.
There's either too much or too little.
Okay. Oh, can you explain that to us?
Well, probably the best explanation I have is once my teacher was here from India, and I had this big tumbler full of fresh-made juice. And I said, "Doctor, would you like to have some juice?" And he's like, "Oh, little bit." And so I gave him a little bit, and he kind of smiles, and I knew it meant something, and I said, "What? Can you explain this?" He says, "Excess is excess. It does not matter if it is fast food or juice that you just prepared. If you would not eat 20 carrots, then do not drink 20 carrots. So excess is excess. It all turns to toxins once every tissue layer has been satisfied."
Okay. So I can see then, Laura, that balance is a key concept. It sounds like in Ayurveda. And right after this brief break, we're going to continue to talk with Laura, who is in the process of publishing her own book on healthy living and healthy eating. We'll see you right after this brief break. Hello and welcome back. We're talking with Laura Hennings, who's a clinical Ayurveda specialist and a licensed massage therapist. And in this segment, we're going to be talking with Laura about her upcoming book, which is about, it's called Home to Heal, and it's about healthy lifestyles and healthy nutrition. And so, Laura, please tell us a little bit about your book.
This book has just been a work in progress for many years, and finally it's taking form, Tom. But what I wanted to do, like I was talking earlier, is to empower people. They should be able to have a stake in their health, and they should. They should be able to know how to cook well for themselves, for their families, for their friends. And that's what this book's about.
Yeah. Well, can you tell us a little bit about like the perspective that you're taking, like with?
It is all based on Ayurveda. So there's a constitution chart in there that one would be able to fill out so you can determine your constitution. All good food is not good for all.
Yeah.
And
can I interrupt you there for a second?
Sure.
So what does that term constitution mean?
Well, constitution in Ayurveda, it's based on the 5 elements: ether, air, fire, water, and earth. And everything on the planet is a combination of those 5 elements. They'll generally manifest in greater proportion than one than the other. So from that, you will know what exercise to do, you'll know the correct foods to eat, everything is Vata, Pitta, Kapha, which most people are familiar with now.
Yes. And so tell us more about your book then and the approach that you're taking with the food and the nutrition, will you please?
Well, it has, like I said, the dosha test. You figure out your dosha test, and then they're all color-coded. All the recipes are color-coded. And I also have a list of diseases that are prevalent for Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So, for instance, if someone has a cold, they can say, "Oh, I am in a Kapha condition," and they can look at the recipes that will balance that.
Okay. So it's really food as medicine?
Absolutely, yes.
So food is good medicine, huh?
Yes.
And so can you tell us a little bit then about what happens in a consultation, Laura?
Well, when someone comes to me for an Ayurvedic consultation, they come in with their health concerns, and we sit and we talk, and I'll be able to determine Vata, Pitta, Kapha in what proportion, and I will be able to, most of the consultation, Tom, I end up in the kitchen. Because that is the hardest thing for people to change.
I see.
So half of the consultation is an intake, half is in the kitchen, and we formulate a plan for that person.
Yes.
That is the absolute hardest thing for people to change is their diet.
Oh, sure is, yeah. So someone might call you then, Laura, if they have, what, anxiety or depression or diabetes or?
All of those things.
A heart condition?
Heart condition, you name it, any problem can be balanced with the food that everything, every cell in your body is from the food you take in and the thoughts that you have.
Yes.
Yes.
So could you give us an example, let's say, of someone who might come in, maybe they have a problem, maybe they have a cardiology problem or diabetes, or maybe you want to choose a condition, and you could tell us that about the assessment and the treatment, Laura?
Sure. Someone that would come in with a heart condition, normally they'll come in and we'll do the intake, and we'll formulate a plan.
Yes.
And all of that has to do with diet, first and foremost. Because if they are not willing to change their diet, then nothing else will work. No herbs that I prescribe for them, the medicine that the doctor has given them, nothing under that umbrella is even going to be touched unless they're willing to change their diet.
And so you go ahead and you find out about the person's lifestyle too. Can you talk a little bit more about how you might make suggestions according to lifestyle as well as diet?
Well, for instance, Tom, if someone came in and they were Vata constitution, ether and air, you would have the qualities of ether and air, light, dry, cold. So you just think of what air is like, and you will know what that person is like.
Yes.
And someone of ether and air qualities, maybe they're running, maybe they are drinking coffee, maybe they are very, very scattered. And so you have to bring that down. You would think, oh, running, that must be good for everyone, but not for a Vata constitution.
Oh, I see.
Yoga would be a better choice. Walking would be a better choice. Swimming would be a better choice, but not running.
So again, the idea of balance, the individual balance for the individual patient or client based on the consultation that you do with them.
Absolutely, yes.
Do you work with adults, men, women, children?
Men, women, and children.
And children as
and
well.
the younger that I can reach someone, the better their life will be.
They can begin to make some healthy changes. Then,
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, that is some excellent information, and we'll be back and join you right after this brief break. Hello and welcome back. We're talking about healthy nutrition and healthy lifestyles with Laura Hennings. So, Laura, Panchakarma.
Panchakarma, Tom, is a brilliant rejuvenation cleanse that's unique to Ayurveda.
Okay.
And I always tell my clients, if I find something better, I'll be doing it, but there just isn't anything better than Panchakarma. Cleansing, I hear so many people, they must cleanse, they must cleanse, they must cleanse, but they never think about rejuvenating.
Okay.
And that is so important.
Okay.
The body is perfect. It is not dirty. You just have to create the atmosphere, and it knows what to do. You don't have to tell a scab, heal. You just have to create the atmosphere, and it will.
Yes.
So Panchakarma, Pancha 5 Karma Action. It is a 5-action cleanse, and it is the only lipid-based cleanse that I know of. Internal, external oleation. So what this looks like is either a 3, 5, 7, 14, or 21-day process, depending on the severity of the person's condition.
I see.
And it really actually should be done for a healthy person, done in the spring, in the fall, and then they just start falling into each other. It builds up a continuum of health. So someone coming for Panchakarma, the rejuvenation cleanse is designed specifically for them. It will not look like anyone else's. It includes Abhyanga, which is Ayurvedic massage. It includes Shirodhara, which is a fabulous Ayurvedic treatment, which is oil poured over the third eye for probably 20 minutes to a half hour, depending on the person. Ayurveda says Shirodhara is good for all disease above the shoulder. So someone that has headaches or migraines or sinus, insomnia, all those conditions can be helped with Shirodhara.
And that
So
treatment occurs in this area, in this
does.
region?
Absolutely beautiful technique. It's transcending.
Okay.
It's so relaxing. So that's part of Panchakarma. There's an eye treatment called Tarpana or Netrabasti, where there's a dough dam built up around your eyes. And then warm ghee, clarified butter, is poured into this dam. You open your eyes, and then your eye just floats in this pool of warm oil. It's a wonderful technique. So you have massage, Shirodhara, Tarpana, herbal body scrub, herbal steam. I prepare the clients' meals for them for the entire time. And
you prepare the meals for them.
I am ensuring success.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah. Wow.
I am. So about 10 years into this, when I asked my client what he had for dinner, he said he microwaved popcorn. So he taught me that I need to prepare food for the people going through Panchakarma.
Yeah.
He was a great teacher for me. So yeah, I prepare all food, which is khichdi, perfect food. It is white basmati rice and split mung dal, perfect protein. You definitely are not starving on this cleanse. You get all the fresh steamed or sautéed vegetables with khichdi that you can eat.
Yes. Now, you mentioned Ayurvedic massage. Now, and of course, you're a licensed massage therapist as well as being a clinical specialist in Ayurveda.
Right.
Is that a special type of massage?
It is a special type of massage, and it has a lot to do with the motion that you take of the body as well as the oils that are prepared. And normally the oils that I prepare for the person will have at least 14 Ayurvedic herbs infused into the oil.
And all that is individualized, and it's to help a person's body and mind to come back to balance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is exactly the goal of Panchakarma.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that people might, is this the process that people might do twice a year?
Yes.
So,
spring and fall, the changes of seasons, that is the best time to do Panchakarma.
And is that kind of based on the idea, Laura, that it's just kind of natural over the course of time where we might get out of balance, and then this brings us back into balance, and then we get out of balance and we bring ourselves back into balance?
Absolutely. Yes. And because of the change of season, that is normally when people get sick.
Yes.
And when you start doing Panchakarma, you'll find that even cold and flu is much less. Yes. So it always keeps the body hydrated, lubricated, rejuvenated.
Yes.
Yes.
So as we're ending up now in these last few seconds, for people that have been watching, what would you say to them if they're interested maybe in improving their life balance? Just one thing, Laura.
Probably the best tip I could give people is to listen to your body. If you take something in and your body is saying no, then listen to your body's intelligence.
Okay. Well, this is wonderful. We want to thank Laura Hennings for joining us, and we'll see you next month. Take good care of yourself.